Our philosophy is very simple. Trying to be everything to everyone. We really focus on a core English speaking demographic and more mature couples. Our average age range is about 55 plus. Now, that's not to say you won't find younger people on board. Of course you will, but you'll never find children. 18 is our minimum age, so we do not cater to children or families. We offer a very inclusive product, and I'll review today what's included and what's not. I don't want there to be any surprises at all. We do not believe in nickel and diming. We try to be as efficient as possible, not only in the operations, but the build out of these iconic vessels, passing those savings along to our guests. And for me, it's a question I get many times is, why is Viking different? What sets us apart? Many things, but it's the attention to detail. It's the level of staff that is really catering to every need that you might have. We are the thinking person's cruise. Education's a key component. We'll provide you with reading lists prior to your journey. There are videographies on each of the different destinations prior to your travel. We want you to really share in the region's culture. We'll ultimately give you that opportunity to connect with those fellow travelers. I touched on this just a moment ago, but service is absolutely paramount. Our staff on board is truly treated like family. It is a Viking family. We have the highest retention rate in the industry, which I think speaks for itself. It is a 90% retention rate year over year that our staff is returning to us. Now, a very important slide here. What is included and what's not? With each cruise, there is one shore excursion at every port of call. I think we do a phenomenal job with this. The guides are local guides. They're born and raised in that region. They're not from the ship. Smaller groups, about 20 to 30 people. If it's a smaller port, we do walking tours. What I love with river sailing and even expedition is we're typically steps away due to the size of the ships. We're steps away from everything that you might want to see or do. When you think of the Mississippi, these quaint towns and iconic cities were built on the waterway. It was the highway of the time. So having the prime docking location and being able to walk right in the old town is absolutely unbelievable. If it's a larger port, say St. Louis, for instance, we'll have motor coaches. We're not going to expect you to walk all throughout the city. Now, there are optional excursions above and beyond this, but you'll always have one included excursion at each port of call. When you do sign up for your excursions, they'll be labeled as far as easy, moderate, or demanding, so you'll know that ability level prior to signing up. We're always going to have a group that does go at a slower pace if necessary. All of the meals are provided on board. There are multiple dining options. It's all locally sourced. When I think of the Mississippi especially, what a culinary adventure. I think of that the Creole seasoning when you're in the deep South, the Southern cooking, the Memphis barbecue. It really will give you those flavors and the local taste of the region that we're traveling through. With each of the meals, it is free-flowing beer, wine, and soft drinks. You'll have to tell the staff to stop filling up your glass. At any point, if you want a specialty coffee, tea, bottled water, it's available 24 hours a day. It's a glass refillable container of water in each stateroom. We do hand you a bottled water when you disembark the vessel for the day. When you come back, nice warm hand towels. Again, back to that attention to detail. Wi-Fi is available fleet-wide. If you want to remain connected, you can. There's no daily fee or connection charge. And the price that you pay through your advisor and Viking covers all of the port fees, the taxes, the charges are included in the price. We don't have an introductory price and then tack all of that on at the end. Now, what's not covered would be the optional excursions that I mentioned. Anything above and beyond the included would be additional, and gratuities. What's great is today we'll be sailing within our domestic waters. The currency on board each of the vessels that we'll be looking is the US dollar. Now, if you want to prepay your gratuities, you certainly can. You can tack it onto the bill at the end. You can pay it in cash. So super flexible, just not included in that overall value. And then I do want to touch briefly on just the alcohol policy. What I love, and we're going through some wonderful regions, if you pick up anything local beer, wine, spirits, you can bring it back on board. You don't have to sneak it on. I know all of the little techniques. It's not necessary. Take it right to the bar. We'll open it for you. There is a refrigerator in each stateroom. In addition, we offer what's called our Silver Spirits beverage package, which is basically an open bar the entire time you're sailing. I find great value in this. It's typically about $20 per person per day, but it opens up the entire wine list as well. So instead of whatever red or white we're pouring that day, you have access to the whole wine list. And then if you want a cocktail or a nightcap, you can. So you certainly have many options just based upon your preferences. Now, this is my favorite slide. This is all of the things we do not do. We don't have casinos. Our focus is history, culture, arts. We never want you feeling captive on board. No children, 18 is that minimum age. No umbrella drinks. We'll make you a beautiful cocktail. It's never going to have that foo-foo umbrella. No photography, at least no professional photography. Nobody is interrupting your dinner, trying to take your picture and sell it to you later. All those gimmicky upcharge techniques do not exist with Viking. That includes art auctions, beautiful curated art on every vessel, and no point are we ever trying to sell that to you. No charge for beer, wine, soft drinks with the meals. Alternative dining, specialty restaurants. This is a big thing in the industry. We do offer them. There's no charge. You simply have to make a reservation. No charge for Wi-Fi. Self-service laundry is available on both vessels that we'll be looking at today. And they're on every single residential deck. You can throw a load in. We don't charge for the soap. We have some 15-day voyages. I'm telling you, it's nice to be able to do a little laundry if you wish. The spa is my favorite spot on board on our expedition ship. It's absolutely stunning. You can go and use that facility daily without an entrance fee charge. Nobody's ever pressuring you to book a facial or a massage or a treatment or a wrap of the day. Our ships have no interior staterooms. They're all exterior vessels, all exterior facing. There's floor-to-ceiling glass windows throughout. No smoking on board, no queuing, waiting in lines. We simply do not build large ships. We are the small ship experts. No formal knights, butlers, white gloves, and as always, no nickel and diming. Let's start with Mississippi. Let's take a look at this beautiful vessel. This has been about 10 years in the making for us. The Mississippi traverses thousands of miles, beautiful nature, scenery, culture, and history all along this 10-state river system that hugs the Great River Road. We have built out 4 8-day itineraries and 1 grand 15-day voyage, really visiting some of America's iconic small towns and large cities. The namesake Mississippi is our very first U.S.-built ship. Again, something we're really, truly excited to share with you. If you have sailed with us before on a Viking longship or a Viking ocean vessel, when you step on board the Viking Mississippi, it will really feel like you've come home. It'll have that sense of familiarity, that Scandinavian style throughout. We're bringing a very modern approach to the Mississippi. Overall length is 450 feet with a 75-foot beam, 193 staterooms, 386 guests. That crew to guest ratio still very low. That level of detail and service will certainly be there. The look and feel, Viking through and through, but some really purpose-built spaces and some great nods to the Mississippi. Perfect examples here in the reception area. You can see our grand staircase. Lining the back wall of that are excerpts of some of Mark Twain's very famous novels. The restaurant, beautiful look and feel, the same as our Viking longships. A table for 2, table for 10 can all be accommodated, never formal dining, and no set dining time. Just arrive within the hours that we're serving. We don't do late seating or early seating. The living room is a new space for the Viking Mississippi, kind of our grand meeting space. Here you can attend a lecture, see a cooking demonstration. We do bring on local entertainers to perform where we're able. Wrapping around this area are these beautiful, intimate seating areas. I feel like I'm sitting right in somebody's home. You've got those nice floor-to-ceiling glass windows. The River Cafe, a little bit more informal dining option, again, bringing on that local fare of the region. The River Cafe opens onto a signature component of every Viking vessel. This is the Aquavit Terrace. We have the most alfresco dining of any ship on the Mississippi. The Aquavit Terrace flows onto is probably my favorite spot of the ship. So here I said we're bringing that modern approach. We made a very conscious decision to forego that iconic paddle wheel that so many people equate with the Mississippi. And instead, we are introducing this beautiful sun terrace with the infinity plunge pool. This is located aft at the rear of the vessel. It will literally feel like you're going to swim right off the edge into the Mississippi. The Explorers Lounge is carried over from our award-winning Viking ocean ships. It's one of my favorite spots. You get these beautiful panoramic floor-to-ceiling glass windows, one of my favorite bars, and you get a beautiful bird's eye view on the upper deck of the Explorers Lounge. The Explorers Lounge opens forward onto the bow of the ship, where you'll see yet another outdoor area, and from here you can really gain that captain's perspective all the way forward on the ship. As far as staterooms, these are modeled after award-winning Viking Ocean staterooms. They look identical. They're all exterior facing. You have 7 categories to choose from. I know there's a lot of information on this slide. I'll kind of walk you through them. The big takeaway is there's really something for every economic level. And with the exception of 8 French balconies, every other category has your own private balcony where you're able to step out and sit down. Here is the French balcony, of which there are only 8 rooms available in this category. It does have a floor-to-ceiling sliding glass door. It opens up. You can get fresh air in the room. You can lean out, but you're not able to step out. It opens up to a railing. Every stateroom has a king bed. This bed can be separated to 2 twin beds if you wish. What I'm not able to do is add 3 to a stateroom. Everything is based on double occupancy. There are drawers to fully unpack, a refrigerator and safe in each of the rooms. You'll find a full closet to hang items, and that luggage slides right underneath the bed. Bathrooms are unbelievable amount of detail. You have beautiful French glass doors that lead into the shower. Every category stateroom has heated bathroom floors, which I think is a nice touch. This is sailing year round. We take it even a step further, something my mother was very impressed with. We even heat the mirror in the bathroom. So when the shower steams up, the mirror never fogs up. And I like to kid, we know our demographic. It's that 55 plus range. All of the amenities, the body wash, shampoo, conditioner, lotion, they are larger bottles. They're really easy to flip open. They are color-coded in large font. So if you don't have your readers on, you still know what you're putting on your bodies. Next category F, this is where I would start at a minimum, is our veranda and deluxe veranda staterooms. Now you have 2 club chairs, you have your own private balcony where you're able to step out and sit down. Why I like these categories is, of course, that outdoor veranda, but your refrigerator is now stocked daily with soft drinks and snacks at no additional charge. And the biggie for me is this category and all categories higher have a coffee maker in the room. Well worth it. Penthouse veranda, a little bit more on the square footage. You've got a couch, club chair, private veranda. That refrigerator is now stocked daily, not only with soft drinks and snacks, but also alcoholic beverages. My favorite category, always a penthouse junior suite. This is the first time I really feel the difference with the increased square footage. You've got the bedroom area, you have a separate living area, and then I think to save any marriage, it is the first category with dual vanity in the bathroom. Well worth it. Our terrace suites, new category for the Mississippi. These have a true divider between the bedroom and living area. Because you traveled all this way to watch television, we've placed one in each of the sections for you, the bedroom area and the living area, so you don't have to fight. And it has this beautiful outdoor expansive terrace. Our Explorer Suites, the largest category. These vary in square footage just due to their location on board, anywhere from 657 to 1,024 square feet. Let's take a look at the different destinations that we visit and the beautiful itineraries that we have built out. There are 5 itineraries sailing along this great river road, traversing from St. Paul all the way down to New Orleans. These are based upon seasonality as to when they're offered. So again, reach out to your advisor for more information and availability. We have Heart of the Delta, New Orleans and Southern Charms, America's Heartland, and then the Grand 15-day voyage. We are also just now adding a new Mississippi holiday season. We're very well known for those holiday sailings all throughout Europe. It's exciting to be able to bring this to our domestic front as well. It's New Orleans to Memphis, or vice versa, Memphis to New Orleans. 8-day itinerary traversing 3 different states, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee. You really get to see the holidays in the Old South, the flavors of the region, the Christmas light displays, the really decorated historic homes, I mentioned that cuisine, the onboard festivities are going to be beautiful. I've attended a few presentations about all of the treats and the design that we'll have on board during that time. And of course, a biggie, I think a bucket list item for many people, something I've not done, is holidays in Graceland. Elvis's very fabled estate, if you will. Beautiful optional excursion during this time of year. Heart of the Delta is the southern portion of the Mississippi. It's New Orleans to Memphis or vice versa, Memphis to New Orleans. This itinerary is offered in the spring and fall. 8 days, you've got a guided tour at every port of call. New Orleans and Southern Charms, I really do love this itinerary. It's offered in those cooler winter months of December and January. It's really the deep south, going from New Orleans and ending in New Orleans. We'll go all the way up to Vicksburg, beautiful small city. With this, what I like is if you've not experienced the Big Easy, this is a great way to do it. We overnight in New Orleans for 2 days. You can see the ship will essentially act as a hotel here. So you are getting some great time in New Orleans, and you've got round trip flights into. Please do reach out to your advisor on that. You can take advantage of our contracted rates that we have with every major carrier. If you book your flights through your advisor at Viking, the transfers are included as well. So we have a representative that picks you up at the airport, greets you, places you on a motor coach, takes you to the ship. We do the exact same thing in reverse. It takes a lot of the stress out of it. And typically the flights are much less than if you would try to do them on your own. And of course, with many of these, you can also extend on the front or the back end. If you want to come in a couple of days early, stay a couple of days later, you can certainly take advantage of that. We always stay in a first-class hotel right in the heart of the city, breakfast provided, and the transfers. We always have a Viking concierge too. Beyond any of the staff at the hotel, there's maintaining that level of service and contact throughout your experience. America's Heartland is that northern portion of the Mississippi. This will be offered in the warmer summer months after the snow melt, once this is navigable. This goes from St. Louis to St. Paul, or vice versa, St. Paul down to St. Louis. You are in a different port of call every single day. And then finally, America's Great River. This is our 15-day voyage. This was a real surprise hit for us. We have actually had to open up availability in 2023 just due to the demand. Beautiful itinerary, 15 days traversing the entire length from New Orleans all the way down to St. Paul. You can see each of the ports of call denoted by a black dot on the map. Some really quaint cities and iconic towns as well. We're taking everything we've learned from our more than 2 decades of sailing the rivers, and we're bringing that to a brand new expedition experience. We are building 2 brand new vessels that are unlike anything that's currently in the marketplace. These are built with sensitive environments in mind. They meet the most stringent of standards, and they're brand new vessels, again, coming to the waterways starting in 2022, the same as Viking Mississippi. 2 new vessels, Viking Octantis and Viking Polaris. New ships, they are built for those extreme regions as they're Polar Class 6. They're able to traverse the Arctic as well as Antarctica, but we did build them with a local itinerary and a really neat experience in mind. 378 guests, 260 crew. Because of these remote regions, they have to be fully self-sufficient. Guest count and ship size, of course, very small. We understand that we're going to be experiencing some extreme regions here. The comfort and the state-of-the-art technology that is integrated into the vessels is absolutely fascinating. Dynamic positioning mode so that we can remain in the same spot even if we're unable to anchor. Fin stabilizers. Something I find most interesting are these U-tanks. They're built into the hull of the vessel. We can actually fill the hull with water, and it helps to reduce the rolling of the ship by up to 50% in very turbulent waters. The look, the feel of our expedition ships, Viking through and through, many of the characteristics that you just saw in the Mississippi, as well as our long ships and our 930 passenger ocean ships, are being carried over to the Octantis and the Polaris. 6 different dining options on board. For me, the big takeaway is there's no additional fee or charge for any of those, and that includes 24-hour room service. The look and feel, the atrium, Again, light, bright spaces, floor to ceiling, glass windows. That explorer's lounge we saw on Viking, Mississippi, also here on the beautiful expedition ships. Aquavit Terrace, that signature component where we have the most alfresco dining. We'll have the most alfresco dining on any expedition ship as well. In true Scandinavian style, we have 3 swimming pools and 3 different temperatures next to each other. They're indoors, but if you get brave or if the weather's nice, you can swim underneath the barrier and you're outside. So a true indoor-outdoor swimming experience. My favorite pool here is the thermal pool in the spa. Wonderful amenities here. Again, you can go and use the facility daily. Hot tub, dry sauna, wet steam. We also have a snow grotto on board. So no matter where you are, touch the button, it snows. You can pick up the snow, use it to exfoliate, and then get right back in that hot tub or sauna. The restaurant, exact same look and feel as every other Viking product. No formal dining at all. Table for 2, table for 10, can all be accommodated. Manfredi's is my favorite dining experience. This is a specialty dining, so it just requires the reservation. Upscale Italian. It has a beautiful open kitchen concept, wonderful appetizers, one of the best steaks I've ever had at this restaurant. The World Cafe, all-day service, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, highly, highly rated. Mamson's is a very sweet little spot on board. It was named after our founder's mother, Torstein's mom. And when you dine at Mamson's, you're dining on replications of Grandma's china, and you're having Grandma's recipes. So really sweet little spot. What's new to Expedition is Expedition Central. This is where guests can come to see an interactive map of their entire itinerary. You can ask questions. I think education is a key component of every Viking sailing. This will be amplified with any expedition sailing. The area includes a studio for photography classes and many other workshops. The Finza Terrace, I've mentioned Tor a few times, our chairman and founder. His daughter is the beautiful blonde who does many of our videos that you may have seen or commercials. Finza, so that you know, is the dog. So now all members of the family do have an area on board. Beautiful outdoor space. If we are in a cooler environment, there's these heated lava rocks here, so it'll still be quite comfortable even in those more extreme conditions. And then looking to the right, you can see this panoramic, beautiful auditorium. This is the Ola. This is the most advanced learning venue at sea. Unbelievable amount of technology, multi-purpose. It can be used for entertainment, lectures, presentations. If you look just above the image of the penguins there, you can see a track. And this will actually retract, that entire screen retracts up into the roof, if you will, above the audience. And then all of the glass is visible, and this can really be used as a beautiful viewing area as well. As far as equipment on board, it's all provided. We have a fleet of military Pro Zodiacs. Back to that attention to detail with Viking, we've got a fleet of 2-seater kayaks, but most kayaks require a paddle to operate. We are custom designing these to also be pedal operated, which leave your hands free for binoculars or photography. There's 2 12-seater convertible ribs, highly capable offshore vessels for those landings and more remote regions. And then something that I think our chairman is probably most excited about are these 2 puppies, 2 6-seater yellow submarines. Being the Beatles fan that he is, he had to make sure that they were yellow submarines. All of this equipment is provided. It's no additional fee or charges for any of the experiences. What I'm most excited about is this. This is the hangar. This is an industry first. It does not exist on any other vessel. And what this is it's an onboard marina. You can take your time boarding all of the craft that I just showed you here in the hangar. You're protected from the elements. You can take your time. You're not precariously going from one vessel to the next. You can get situated, get seated, get comfortable. Then when it is time to launch, we have this unbelievable slipway functionality that puts you into the open water. And then when you return from your expedition for the day, we bring you right back into the hangar, and you can take your time getting off of the craft and head right to the bar. Here in this area, there is also a beautiful in-ship In the in-ship marina is a beautiful working scientific laboratory, state-of-the-art. There are resident scientists on board who will also help you with each of your excursions. And we've created some key scientific partnerships with the University of Cambridge, the Cornell Lab, many different universities and institutions, and more to be announced. Again, this is not starting until 2022. As far as the staterooms, all exterior facing, they all have this beautiful Viking Nordic balcony. Now, due to the extreme regions that these vessels visit, we felt it would be most prudent to really change the design of our balconies and our verandas for expeditions. So we created the Viking Nordic balcony. We've pushed the glass clear to the edge of the vessel. It is distortion-free glass. However, if you want to be able to hear the sights and sounds of nature or be able to take photography without the impediment of glass, at the touch of a button, that upper panel will retract all the way down. You can rest your elbows on the midline, and you really do have a true balcony experience in the comfort of your stateroom. It's almost like a beautiful sunroom. Bathrooms, here they are. They're exactly like the Viking Mississippi, Viking Ocean, Viking Longships. There's the beautiful French doors leading into the shower, those heated bathroom floors and mirror. There is gear that's provided for our guests. For those visiting the polar regions, we provide a Viking expedition jacket that's yours to keep. But for all other itineraries, we understand this may not be in everyone's wardrobe. We provide boots, waterproof pants, Nordic walking poles. These are kept in a floor-to-ceiling drying closet that's also in each of the staterooms. It has forced air heat, dehumidifying technology. It will keep everything fresh, crisp, and ready to go for your next adventure. There are 5 different categories that you're able to choose from, really something for every economic level. It's that same look and feel of each of our ships. A king bed, it can still be separated to 2 twins. Everything's based on that double occupancy, and everything does have the beautiful Nordic balcony. Our Explorer Suites are our largest staterooms. These do have an actual step-out veranda, as does our one owner suite, which is Tor's private quarters. If he is not sailing with you, you certainly have the opportunity to book this at 1,206 square feet. The ships were specifically designed with the St. Lawrence Seaway in mind. We're now able to traverse the Welland Canal locks. There's a reason why these vessels are very long. It's specifically designed so that we can do this. We'll have about a foot of clearance on either way, but this opens up a new world of opportunity for us, the Great Lakes. It's the largest freshwater ecosystem on Earth, 23,000 cubic kilometers of water. It's 21% of the world's surface freshwater. It spans over 750 miles across and has over 10,000 miles of coastline, comprised of over 35,000 islands that make up all 5 of the Great Lakes. Let's take a look at the Great Lakes and Canada expedition cruises that we do offer. We have 3 8-day itineraries and 1 15-day voyage that goes through those Welland Canal locks, takes you from New York City into Toronto. But the other Great Lakes Explorer, Undiscovered Great Lakes, and probably the most popular, Niagara in the Great Lakes. Of course, Niagara Falls being the big call there. Each of those 3 8-day itineraries does visit Mackinac Island, which I think is a big bucket list item for many people. I'm originally from the Midwest. Mackinac Island is a huge destination in the region. It's a carefree island. You can only explore by carriage, bicycle, or on foot. Of course, you can paddle and kayak the shoreline, but there are no cars. Motor vehicles are completely banned on the island. The only way to access the island is by boat. You'll have plenty of time to really discover and enjoy the island, lots of shopping. One thing I would recommend doing is taking a visit or a tour of the elegant Grand Hotel. It's a Victorian era building. It's been a vacation destination for presidents, all throughout history. The hotel's 660-foot long front porch is billed as the longest porch in the world. And it's definitely something you must see if you're in Mackinac. Georgian Bay. We take a few days here in Georgian Bay. It's comprised of over 30,000 islands that make up this UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. We explore Little Current, Killarney, and Parry Sound in Georgian Bay, all part of that UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. Thunder Bay. Uh, Lots of hiking opportunities to catch some wildlife. We can relive the region's history at Fort William. It's an accurate recreation of an early 19th century fur trading post, or you can hike the trails of Sleeping Giant Provincial Park. Duluth, Minnesota, where you can ride a vintage train, stroll the downtown waterfront, or you can browse the Great Lakes Aquarium, which is here on your monitors. Apostle Islands, here's really a great opportunity to really catch some local wildlife, bald eagles, all among the sea caves, bogs, and wetlands. The Apostle Islands are a 22-island archipelago. Houghton, Michigan, the region's copper mining history is here. You can admire beautiful old-growth forests and marshlands. And Niagara Falls, big point of interest, of course, the majesty of the falls, one of the largest horseshoe falls. If you're very brave, you can see the Maid of the Mist there that goes very, very close to the base of the falls. If you're even more adventurous, we offer Niagara by helicopter, if you wish. Point Pelee, tons of migratory birds in this area and butterflies. Point Pelee National Park. It's in Essex County, which is southwestern Ontario, right where it extends right into Lake Erie. Detroit, huge car culture, lots of things to experience at the Henry Ford Museum, including JFK's limousine and Edison's lab. Halifax, Nova Scotia, Peggy's Cove. You can explore the history and wilderness of McNabb's Island. Quebec City, Quebec, you really brush up on your French from high school or college here. Beautiful area, kayaking opportunities, and the city itself is absolutely stunning. And Toronto, one of my favorites, stroll the St. Lawrence Market. Beautiful art scene here. It's a massive city. It is the largest, it's the most visited city in Canada. One of the most multicultural cities in the world, often pegged as the New York City of Canada. These are just really a handful of itineraries that we offer all throughout the world. We're best known for those river sailings all throughout Europe, Russia, Ukraine, Southeast Asia, Egypt. Rhine Getaway, our most popular river itinerary. Beautiful itineraries throughout France. Last year, I explored Paris to the beaches of Normandy and back. There's also the south of France, Lyon and Provence, Portugal on the Douro River. If you want more information on any of these, reach out to your advisor. They can show you availability. Here are the expedition itineraries, those Great Lakes in Canada, but also Antarctica, the Arctic, and some grand voyages. We have a 44-day Arctic to Antarctica. And our oceans that I briefly mentioned, there's just not time to show you everything. 930 passengers visiting 6 different continents, best known for Scandinavia and Northern Europe, beautiful itineraries throughout the Mediterranean and Adriatic, as well as some closer to home in the Caribbean, Eastern Seaboard Explorer, if you want to see the changing of the colors in the fall, Asia, Australia, and we have some ocean and river grand voyages where we combine a river sailing with an ocean sailing. We understand this is a crazy time in the world, especially when it comes to travel. We have created this risk-free guarantee. Should you decide to book a voyage next year, 2022, 2023, your investment's fully protected. You have the ability to cancel for any reason, all the way up until 24 hours prior to departure. Should you cancel, all monies that you've paid will be refunded in the form of a future cruise voucher. That voucher is valid for 2 years. You would not even have to sail within that time. You'd simply have to book a cruise within 2 years. It is really providing that peace of mind. It should give you that flexibility, and it is combinable with any other offers that Viking has. So it really is a wonderful opportunity in this crazy time that we find ourselves in. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been kind of fun to get out of our houses virtually. If you have questions and you want further details, availability, pricing, again, reach out to any of the advisors who referred you, and I promise you're in great hands. Thanks for joining today.
Thank you, Matthew. That was a lot of information. And I don't know about everybody else, but I'm ready to go on each and every one of the cruises. I can guarantee, I don't think you mentioned this, but how popular all these cruises are going to be. I know personally that I have clients already booked on the 2022, and they didn't get their first, second, or third choice of sailings because they were already sold out. That's the 2022 of the Mississippi River. So people are planning way in advance. It's something to think about. So does anybody have any questions?
Actually, I got a few written down here, Dominique.
Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Perfect.
Matthew, can you go over whatever COVID protocols that are on board in the ship as far as masks, social distancing, and things of that nature?
It's a good question, Jim. Just so everybody is aware, we have suspended our sailings. We were actually the first cruise line to do that back in March. We have extended our suspension through the end of the year. I can tell you we will probably be the last cruise line to announce what our protocols will be. What I'm seeing in the industry is when lines have announced, we're still waiting for protocols from the CDC. None of that's been issued yet. It's such a moving target at this point. People are having to retract what they had previously stated. I can tell you, I think we're going to be in a great position with our small class ships. Safety is our absolute '1 priority. We will never sail unless we feel that it is safe, not only for our guests, but also for our crew and family. I've seen about a 90-page document in regards to what our protocols will be. Nothing I can actually share yet. I do think we will be announcing in the very near future. From what I've seen, just to kind of give you a little insider, is the design of the ships themselves is actually going to be proving to be quite beneficial. For instance, each of our staterooms, we have no shared air. Each system is completely individual and independent. And I think whatever protocols are being mandated on the national and international level, we will definitely exceed those mandates.
Thank you for that. And then you mentioned a lot of the ships have the alfresco dining, which looks fabulous to me as far as I can see. What happens during inclement weather, though? I mean, I'm assuming that that's additional seating for dinner and that the restaurants can handle if everybody decides that they need to be inside.
Absolutely. You've got multiple dining options, but alfresco style is definitely a big thing with us. And even where the alfresco dining is, many times we're able to close portions of that area off to reclaim it in inclement weather. Great question.
Does anybody else have some questions? We'll unmute you and you can ask Matthew.
I think we're set.
Oh, somebody I see on the group chat asked about a fitness center or gym. Yes, we will have that on Expedition. And unfortunately, I don't have a photo of it. I do not believe that there is a fitness center on the Mississippi. Just due to the size of the river ships, we really don't have the ability. And to be honest, you are typically off the vessel most of the time. From the moment, you're after breakfast, you're out and about. We really want you experiencing each of the beautiful cities that we're visiting. But as far as the Expedition ship, stunning fitness center, the level of detail is there. Every single piece of equipment has a bottled water that's waiting for you and a towel, all state of the art.
Perfect.
Yeah, and of course, questions don't end today, Matthew. If we have a question tomorrow or next week, we know we can reach out to you and get the answer to the people.
Most definitely.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for attending. And if you're interested, Thursday we'll be talking about Globus travel with their North America adventures. So hope to see you all soon. And that's it. Have a good rest of your evening. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Stay safe.